Hello everyone, Joshua Hayes, bigwaytrading.com. The last video lesson I did, I kind of made it about how trading is difficult. Sometimes you miss trades you want to be in. Sometimes you decide not to get long, the ones that end up doing really well. And sometimes you don't have a big enough position in your winners. But the one thing I do consistently do is always cut losses, so at least it's never ugly. That being said, the accounts are all long-term accounts, new all-time highs. Position accounts, new all-time highs. Swing accounts, new all-time highs. However, more complaining, I guess you could say, because I did it again. And a very large buy stop was set on Isrg after this day right here. So the buy stop was 496.49. Told everybody about it. After this day right here, buy stop was set at 496.69. Daily tight squeeze on my TTM squeeze indicator, yellow and red dots, and everything was looking good. And then last night they had earnings and I saw it gapping up. And normally I have a 1% limit offset with all of my buy stops. But because it was gapping up so much, I was like, you know what? I don't mind this thing filling on the way down. I'm going to go ahead and reinitiate that buy stop at 496.49. But if it does pull back and fill me, if it gaps up and if I have a limit all set at 500 and it opens at 500 and then sells all the way down to 450, I got to be, very careful of that. So I decided I'm going to do the 496.49 buy stop. And I did something very stupid, guys. I just gave myself a 10-cent offset on a $500 stock. That was a bad decision because Isrg opened and in the first minute, I got that stock to pull back to my level. You can see what the low a day is. So it gapped up, would have triggered the buy stop. So that limit order at 496.59 is good to go. It didn't fill. I don't know how fast because I haven't looked yet. I do have intra-minute charts on TradingView, and I believe Thinkorswim too. But I have not looked yet, and I don't know how fast it is. All I can tell you is I didn't get filled. What sucks is whenever I do these buy stop trades on these tight weekly squeeze or daily squeeze scan stocks, leaders, I take pretty big positions. Now, they're my biggest positions. They get more put into them than straight out signals do that I get long. And I have 2 new long signals we'll review before the end of this video lesson. So this kind of sucked, that whole 10% move. I would be selling some at the market. I'd say that I'd probably be selling 20% at the market on Monday morning had it filled. But it didn't fill. And unfortunately, this Isrg left a bad taste in my mouth all day long. And it even went through whenever I was scanning. And by the way, guys, do you notice that there's a white triangle? So I got to make mention. I do have a position in Isrg in the swing account. I don't have it in the long-term account, which is insane to not have a position in Isrg in the long-term account of mine. I'm pretty sure they're a part of SPY or QQQ, hopefully. But just to let you know, from the very first long position, we have a 30% gain still, what I have left. This day right here, I put a full sell stop below here. Luckily, it gapped up on earnings, so we didn't get fully taken out of it. But this little decline right here, going through these levels, knocked me out of a lot of it. So Isrg is a position. It is making money still with the small amount that I have because I don't have much left in this stock. But if we would have gotten filled on the buy stop one, I'd be selling 20% of that fill Monday morning. Now, do I have any sell signals for Monday morning? I sure do. Only one though. ZETA. ZETA was a new long position here. I'm selling 50. I will have a 50% of my remaining position, a stop right below here. The final stop on this trade for now is this low. It was this low, but after this session here, I'm going to move it up to this low. But ZETA is a 50% end of day sell signal. And that being said, what do we have? A loss or a gain? We have a gain, 79% gain. So like I said, everything is working well, but my trading still continues to be off and I'm not happy. I'm holding way too many positions. But remember, I only hold winners. I get rid of what doesn't work and I only hold what's working. So if I'm holding a lot of stocks, then they're all winners. The problem is I'm not getting that amazing grade A signal that tells me load up on this one, put 35%, 50% of your capital in this one stock. This is a great reward risk level with a great signal. I'm not getting those. I'm not getting those grade A CANSLIM quality signals. I'm not getting those grade A speculative signals. When VSME, notice how there's no white triangle on this chart. VSME right here. Look at this. This showed up on my scan. Recent reverse split, pocket pivot point signal above its 50 SMA. Look at all the green bop in it. You have a volume truncation max green bop session that came after the split. We're holding that level. We reclaim it. Look at what the high of the day is, 97. I only give myself a 1% limit offset. So if my trigger is at 98, the most I'm willing to pay is $1. Look at what the low day is the next day. You know, that's just, it happens, guys. It happens. It's trading. And then on that note, sometimes you make bad decisions or you just screw up. TVGN. I should still have a small piece of this position with a 437% gain, but I accidentally screwed up and was selling intraday. And on this day, I accidentally sold it all. I forgot what I did, but I believe I didn't change the share amount number, and I kept it basically as the full position when I should have been decreasing, obviously, to have, because what I would have if I still had a position on TVGN, we would have sold more intraday on the move above 250, would have had a sell limit also. That wouldn't have hit, missed it by 3 cents. But now on the full position, if I still had that initial position, 1 stop, 2 stop, 3 stop, final stop. I would have 4 trailing stops on this position. So it was that kind. Oh, and then I passed on this one on the speculative side, SLXM, on this day right here. I saw on this day right here. This is a good, not great signal. Why? There's no volume surge and there's no pocket pivot point signal, but it was a recent volume truncation, max green bop, downtrend, hammer candle right off 52-week low. If this could have happened, let's say the day after, let's say it would have had this candle, and if it would have printed like another one like this and volume would have been heavier than the day before, yeah, I'm getting along. But instead, because it was a biotech 30-cent stock, I passed on this one, and as you can see, it's been working well. So that's kind of what I'm looking for off the lows. But it's just been that kind of week, guys. SLXN, TVGN, Isrg. They're just some of the problems, but it's basically just because we can't get that one great signal. So this evening, let's review 2 new long signals I'm going to take. One is a super high quality stock that I like a lot, Spot. Spot is a leader in its category. It's the group leader. It is the leader. Somebody asked me if this past week in the chat room if I like Sirius XM satellite radio, and I told them, listen, I love it. With Warren Buffett taking a position, they were like, do you like it more than Spot? And I told them, absolutely not. Spot's the leader. Spot's the one I love here. What I see here, I don't do this much on these charts, guys, because the telechart version 7, which I like to look at, kind of sucks for the drawings. What I see here is a breakout of this downtrend line on heavier above average volume. BOP increase from the day before. So we are good to go. We are not extended from the 21 EMA. I mean, technically we are, but not really. Compared to what I've been seeing lately, this one is not extended from the 21 EMA, and the 50 SMA is pretty close enough. So with Spot, I'm going to get long about 378.88 at 378.89 with a 1% limit offset on my buy stop. My final cut loss level will be the 50 SMA. Now, I'm going to calculate my size and risk to here. And if this thing works immediately, that 50 SMA should catch up with that low. But I'm going to use the 50 SMA for everyone, because if it does trigger fill but pulls back on lower volume, while I'll be calculating my size and initially having a stop here, I will let the 50 SMA be the ultimate decider of if I get fully out or not. So Spot is the main one. Now, the one I probably like the most, though, this evening is a utility stock. Why? Because I now see utility stocks as not only great dividend stocks, but as growth stocks, thanks to the need of energy through artificial intelligence and just basically the world. It's not getting any colder out there, it's only getting hotter. And if you understand climate change, if you understand the science behind it, then you know not only are the summers going to get hotter, but the extreme weather is going to cause the winter to get colder. So you're going to need energy for heating and energy for cooling, and then you have artificial intelligence. So P&W fits that utility theme. I have an engulfing hammer candle over candle, and it's right at its 50 SMA, and obviously it's not extended from the 21 EMA because of where it's coming from within the consolidation pattern. You can see multiple pocket pivot point signals. That's what those blue spikes are as it consolidates basically since this last move. BOP is growing, never went red at all during the consolidation. The relative strength line is weak, but in the short term, balance of power is growing. I like the accumulation. I like the pocket pivot point signals. I like the amazing risk to reward. And I can take size in this name and know odds of it triggering, filling, and failing immediately are very low. So with P&W, I plan on getting along above 87.93. That will be my buy stop. I'll have a 1% limit offset, and I'll be calculating my size and risking to this low. This should allow for a very large position in this one. And if it works, awesome. If it doesn't, I'll cut my loss like always and move on. I don't think anything needs to be like anything recently that I bought is like on the cusp of being. Oh, I can review this one for you guys. AMSC. So remember, I live on Maui still for now, and I do not wake up in the morning. So if this thing opens green, that's where my 1% limit offset comes in. So I don't want to pay too much, but 26.40 is my limit. But I tell all my members, if you wake up in the morning and you see the stock is gapping up, if it's gapping up past the limit offset price or even just at all, and you don't want to risk taking any losses, you only want to get long with a red to green move and have that first stop at whatever the trigger day's low a day is. AMSC gapped up on me, so I got filled, but members using the red to green methodology, no fill, no losses. Me, on the other hand, I got filled, so a stop went here. It triggered me out of some of them now, some of that position. I'll have another stop here, and I have a stop here, and a final stop right down there. But this is an example of a stock that I get long that doesn't work right away. And even though I calculated my size and my final stop is here, I'm already out of some of it. I'll be out of more of it with a violation of this low, a violation of this low, a violation of this low. And that's how I can keep my losses tiny. And I'll take that capital and put it in the next P&W, the next SPOT, because God knows they're going to keep showing up in this market. This tape is very strong. There's no stopping it. SPY, everything looks good here. QQQ, everything looks good here. DIA, everything looks good here. IWM, starting to show some leadership. But guys, my best trading, my most explosive gains come when this chart is going from this white line is going from the lower left to the upper right. Is it doing that? No. So then, is my IBD 50 FFTY ETF, it's not exactly the IBD 50, but it's close enough. Is it doing that as well? No. So should I be upset with myself that everything's not exactly flowing perfectly? No. But it does suck. Could be a lot better. That's trading. We're still all making money, big way trading. Everything's doing well. And hopefully keeps on going. All right, everyone. I'll see you next weekend. It's a wild one out there. It's good. It's kind of great, but it's not great. I'll let you know when it's great.